It's time to go racing from virtual Auto Club Speedway round 6 of the BeWater Be Fast iRacing series. I'm Rick James here to bring you 90 laps of action from the 2-mile Auto Club. Timothy Latham, Jose Ruiz sitting on the front row in the 0 and 23 cars. Jordan Bain on the outside of row number 1. Sitting right beside Tim Latham, getting ready to get the party started. 90 laps, 180 miles from virtual Auto Club. Pace car peels off. Cars are waiting for that signal. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. Letting it all hang out of the fourth corner, Tim Latham leads the first lap with Jose Ruiz in tow in the number 2-3 DuPont Chevrolet. Tristan Bailey following third in line in the double 8. TJ's team Chevy, he's got RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis, to his inside with Austin Reedy following in tow in the number 11 Busch Chevrolet. Jordan Bain, Brad Rivers, Josh Arnold, Aaron Smith in that 70 car, coming into this race with a stranglehold on those points. He comes in leading by, 8 points over Drew Jua. I can't math, don't forget. Aaron Smith in that 7-0 car looking to extend that lead so far. Drew Jua, sitting further down in the running order, has a lot of work to make up. He's sitting 29th right now in the number 2-1 United Rentals Camaro. He's right behind John Osborne, who did a great job in the heat earlier tonight. Osborne rocking the Kool-Aid colors to the inside of Q-Dog. Enrique Quinones to you. He's rocking the number 9 Southern Beverage Michelob Ultra car. There's the New Jersey native. At the front of this race, Tim Latham just put in a purple lap, the fastest lap of the race. 41.87 seconds for the Goose Egg. That square number 0 Raise Energy Rep Sports Chevrolet. And now a new fastest lap. Give it up to RGD Raleigh Grant Davis with a 41.77. He's the fastest driver under the setting California sun. Jordan Bain flipping the colors on that number 2-8 BeWater Ford, and it looks oh so good to the inside of Brad Rivers, rocking the number 69 Haas Ford. The 22 of Josh Arnold has to go to his inside. Brad Rivers still trying to hold on to that race car as best as he can. The number 69 Haas Mustang on the outside of Aaron Smith into turn number 1. Smith now into 11th, and Corey Blevins in the 4-8 Blevins design Camaro holding on to the back end of that top 10. Michael York in the number 5 GoDaddy Chevrolet. He passes Justin Malarkey for the 15th spot. Now working on Kyle Taub in that 1-6 KT Designs Ford. Corey Blevins now following Josh Arnold in that number 2-2 Southern Beverage Company car. If it looks familiar, he's doing an homage to Kevin Harvick's Budweiser Ford that he ran at Darlington some years ago. Dale Fan 8 in the chat says, let's go. He says, good luck, Jones. Excuse me. I was going to say, let's go, Jones. But let's look at car number 8. Well, and let's go with Byron Jones there, the 8 car, the Stay Water. I believe that's the Stay Hemp Sports Drink made by BeWater. He's sitting into that 8 Camaro to the outside of Matt Boone in the Mac Tonight Chevrolet, now to the inside line coming off of turn number 4, and it's such a difficult exit of the corner to manage because it's such a wide racetrack. The cars have to drift up just lazily to that right-hand side to maximize the exit out of the corner. Keep your eye on that 3.8. See if he goes down low and gets a great wide exit out of turn number 2. There he is, middle lane, and you're going to watch that 3.8 go right up alongside that wall. Tim Latham in that 0 car, still leading the 2-3 of Jose Ruiz. Right behind him, has dropped outside of the top 5. Tristan Bailey sits in second with RGD third. 3 Chevrolets in the podium positions right now. Gabe Ellison rounding out the top 5 in that 2-7 Chevrolet. Nick Pressey from Brooklyn, New York, rounding out the top 10 in the number 94 Ford. Got a new sponsor on the hood of this race car. The Fan Fuel Podcast, sponsoring that Estates number 94 Mustang. Pressey holding on to the back end of the top 10. Meanwhile, starting outside of the top 10, points leader Aaron Smith just gets around Josh Arnold in that 2-2. The South Carolinian has worked his way up inside the top 10, and he's hunting down Corey Blevins. Let's ride along with the points leader for a lap around Fontana. Smooth lap by Smith, and he's up into the 8th position. Corey Blevins next on his radar. Blevins in the 48, working on Ruiz in the 23. The DuPont Chevrolet under fire from the Blevins design Camaro, and that 48 looking for an inroad into 6th place. Ruiz holding him off just barely. Tight fight here, and up ahead RGD. Wrestling with Austin Reedy, using some side drafting and some full sending to edge RGD into 3. Reedy almost making contact with the turn 4 wall, while leader Tim Latham snakes down to that inside line. Tristan Bailey patiently following that 0 car. Reedy on the high side has the draft into turn number 1. Grant Davis to his inside, using the shorter route around the corner. Reedy with the momentum out of turn number 2. He clears RGD and holds on to 3rd. Aaron Smith now following this 2-car battle between Corey Blevins and Jose Ruiz. Blevins now to the inside of the 2-3. Taking that Blevins design 48 car into the top 7 positions. Aaron Smith, however, following the 2-3 of Ruiz, who's got the momentum down the front straight. Ruiz now challenging Blevins and forcing him to use his tires to hold on to his top 10 spot. Nate Mon in that 2-0 Piedmont Airlines Chevrolet. Haven't seen something that pretty since the 70s. He's sitting in the 15th position ahead of Nate Lehman in his Ford-sponsored Mustang. Legendary drivers such as Ricky Rudd and Terry Labonte taking that Piedmont Airlines car to victory lane. Will Nate Mon be one of the next names to take the Piedmont Airlines race car to victory lane? He's wrestling Jordan Bain for that 14th position, and Honeycutt in lucky number 13th spot, drafting down the back end of Justin Malarkey. Looks like a lot of drivers are taking to the high side, really. They want to just maximize the speed out of the corner, and Tristan Bailey, who got a great run out of turn number 2, now fighting Tim Latham for the lead, and the 88 looks to clear the 0 into 3. Does Latham throw the crossover on the inside of the corner, using the momentum on the high side of 3? What kind of run will he get out of turn number 4? Reedy's in the wall at a turn number 4. Gabe Ellison has to avoid him. There goes RGD to the inside now. Everybody scattering the 25 right on the apron, trying to avoid the double one of Austin Reedy, and a not so refreshing slam on the outside wall. Reedy now with a dented right side is the aero damage on the Delaware driver. Folks in Townsend cheering on their hometown hero, hoping for a resurgence. Reedy has got to pick up the pieces. Corey Blevins now looking to the inside of the scratched up number 11, and hopefully it's just a scratch. 14 laps into this race, Austin Reedy can't afford crippling damage. Reedy now behind the 48 car. Drafting well, Aaron Smith taking advantage of the wounded Reedy, who doesn't look like he's got substantial injuries. A dent to the right front fender, but what could that do? Have the wheels been damaged in any way that's affecting the drive? Reedy looking like the car is a handful. Let's ride along in the cockpit with car number 11. Reedy now slipping out of the top 10 with J. Paul Arnold to his outside, the Southern Beverage 22, trying to take advantage. Jose Ruiz now on the attack after slipping out of the top 5. Brooklyn's Nick Pressey also smells some bush in the water. He's trying to hunt down that 11. Jordan Bain also coming with a big push from Brad Rivers in the 12th position. Further on back, Kyle Taub looking to go into the vacuum hole, that middle between the 3.8 of Boone and the 5.0 of John Honeycutt. Taub on the high side now trying to take advantage, and behind them, Cole Snyder in the number 2.4 on the outside of Jeff No. That's for 19th. Drew Jua in that 2.1 has a gap. Last week's winner, Tim Moore, just ahead of that 2.1 car, the Caterpillar-colored Toyota Supra. How about that for some nostalgia? Timmy Moore bringing a little bit of Bill Davis and Ward Burton love to the racetrack. Gotta love it. Speaking of throwbacks, Corey Colby rocking his inner Ricky Rudd fandom. The number 21 Motorcraft Ford on the outside of Mike York. And that's Rocky Top Sam Wade with the number 14 this week. He's diligently drafting with the 5 of Michael York. They're going to go 3 wide down the front straight. And this for the 29th position. At the front, Tristan Bailey just getting ahead of Tim Latham, who's in some trouble. Latham may have just come in contact with the wall. RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis to the inside now. Car 2.5 leading the 2.7 machine of Gabe Ellison. John Honeycutt in that 5.0, losing positions, sinking like a stone. Now facing the back end of the 3.8 car down this front straight. 19 laps complete. Tristan Bailey continues to lead, but with a half-second advantage over Timmy Latham. He went just a bit high last time around with no help from his friends. Latham staying a bit more conservative this time on the exit of turn 2, but it's going to cost him the security of second place as RGD now challenges for the silver medal spot. And if you've just recently tuned in, I'm Rick James and you're watching round 6 of the BeWater iRacing series. The 2.5 of RGD currently arguing for second with Tim Latham. Latham clears the 2.5 and he now sticks to that inside line, guarding any attack up that first corner. Nick Pressey in the 94. He's looking ahead to Jordan Bain. But does he see the 2.0 of Nate Mon, the Piedmont Airlines Chevrolet, attempting a crossover on the Fan Fuel Podcast 94 to the inside? Here's a battle for 10th. To the inside, 20, making almost a little bit of contact with the 94. No harm, no foul. Pressey takes it on the chin and keeps on moving. Here comes the 14 of Nate Lehman. He wants to play two. Drafting off that 94. Pressey looks to the inside, forcing the block from the 2-0. How long will Mon stay on that inside line? Long enough to keep Nick Pressey at bay. Mon holds on to 10th. At the front, Timmy Latham now holding on to second by a 100th of 1 second. Raleigh Grant Davis to the inside, and he does not relent. Meanwhile, Tristan Bailey with a 1 second advantage on the top two. Points leader Aaron Smith has worked his way up from 11th into 6th. The 48 of Corey Blevins just ahead and is the key to unlocking that top 5. Meanwhile, Jordan Bain in the BeWater Be Fast Ford to the inside of the Southern Beverage Company 2-2. J. Paul Arnold sitting in 7th, defending his position from Jordan Bain. Jose Ruiz in that 2-3, that all too familiar championship winning DuPont Rainbow Warriors Chevrolet. Sitting, he's in 9th right now, and obviously I'm a Jeff Gordon fan, that's no secret, but the absolute detail of this, just he's got the Dayglow red just right, and then that fade on the blue that went from dark to light, just gorgeous car. Whoever painted this, obviously it came from Trading Paints and the name escapes me, but fantastic job, and no bias aside, I do love Jeff Gordon, but that's just unbelievably detailed. Great job on that paint scheme. Atlanta Racing in the house. He says, Ricky, great broadcast, man. Atlanta Racing, one of my best friends in this broadcasting community. I could not thank him enough for showing me and bringing me along. And now I've got a channel of my own, and I can thank him. I can thank Repeat 1975. I can thank folks like Marty Hensley, like Terry Radford. It never stops. Give this man a follow and a subscription. I love you, buddy. Send my love to the family. I hope all is well. Nate Lehman on the inside line. That's the 14 Ford Mustang. He's got Jeff No knocking on the door of the top 16. Kyle Taub on the bottom end of the top 15 now. Trying to get a little bit of sweet honey in that, well, in that 14th position. John Honeycutt from Orlando, Florida. Drafting down Matt Boone in the 13th position. Austin Reedy, you remember he tagged the wall earlier in that number 11 car, and how Reedy has dropped out of the top 3 into the 23rd position. Reedy's down 16 places from where he started, and the only drivers to beat him on that loss would be Brad Rivers in the 6-9 and then Michael York in that 5 car. Still more than half of this race remains. Anything is possible from here. Tristan Bailey's lead starting to be carved into the ghost of RGD, starting to become more than just a figment of his imagination. Tristan Bailey can see that white, purple, and black Camaro just following in the distance. Jordan Bain now to the inside of Aaron Smith with Corey Blevins in the 5th position. These two as wide as the racetrack will allow. Smith trying to get around that 2-8. He's got Josh Arnold also pushing in line. These cars desperate to break their way into the top 5. But how long will they last on these fuel and tires? Further on back, Matthew Boone in that 3-8. Trying the middle line now. John Honeycutt working his way up the inside. In 21st, you've got Drew Jua in the 21 car. He's drafting with last week's winner, Tim Moore. Let's ride along shotgun with Drew. Let's see how he manages Auto Club. Jua now diligently following that 74 into the top 20, that 2-1 car to the inside of Cole Snyder, and just like that, Jua into 19th position with a good run. Snyder leaving sparks off the wall, just grinding some of that pretty wattle paint on that outside retaining barrier. That car getting just a little more blue on this 28th lap of the scheduled 90. Timmy Moore trying to do a bit better than 18th position. He's worked his way up through the points, but still not in that coveted top 14. Drew Jewell, however, sitting second in points by only 8 markers. He's sitting in 19th right now. His closest rival, Corey Blevins, just 20 points behind him, is enjoying the top 6. Blevins sitting in 48th in 48th. What am I thinking? He's sitting in 6th in the 48 car. He's got Jose Ruiz to his inside now. That 2-3 is alongside Aaron Smith. That's the battle for 7th. Ruiz now drafting behind that 70 car, trying to get an in-road to the inside line, but it's going to be the 20 of Nathan Mon who takes advantage of the inside line. The Piedmont Airlines Chevy up 12 places since the green flag flew. Mon coming down to the inside line and all the way down pit road. 30 laps into this race, the 2-0 car squirrely on the way in, and green flag pit stops have begun. Your favorite driver's last name will appear with the 3-letter abbreviation. The ticking time on the left-hand side is their total pit lane time, and the blinking time within the brackets is their total pit stop time, and Mon has blown it. You see he's got to back up there, and that's going to cost him brilliant amounts of time. Tristan Bailey, however, on the outside, he's giving the lap back to RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis, who had pitted earlier. The 2-5 car being scored in 29th right now, just on the tail end of the lead lap. He went 29 laps before he first came down pit road. Jordan Bain still hasn't come down. Jose Ruiz in the 3rd position, now caning it on these pit stop laps, and he's got the strategy where he's going to conserve up until that last moment. Ruiz with a 41.87, knocking on the door of the race's fastest lap. Tristan Bailey, however, he's got all eyes on him. Everybody wondering when car 88 will come down pit road. The answer, not just yet. There's a blink from the 88 car. There he is. Now he's coming down pit road. He's going to surrender the lead to car 28. New leader for the first time in what's over 25 laps, Jordan Bain. Bain giving laps back. Only the top 7 have yet to pit. And hey, John Osborne into the Kool-Aid 8-3 is in that 7th position. He's up 20 places from where he started. Osborne possibly gambling on the yellow flag to come out. He finished 2nd in his heat. And he's got the 20 car to his inside now. Osborne yet to pit and losing ground. Cole Snyder, another one of the cars who have not come down for service, as does Tyler Dohar. The 7.7 filter time Chevy staying out, or is he coming in? Dohar now coming in, diving in at the last second behind Jeff No. Jose Ruiz is also in, and that marks all of the top 7 coming down pit road. These are the last stragglers who have yet to come down for tires and fuel. And to quote my buddy Repeat 1975, it's going to be 4 Eagle Feel-Goods and back out on the racetrack. So it's RGD, Raleigh Grant Davis, who will come back around to collect the lead well ahead of Gabe Ellison. 2.8 seconds, the gap between RGD. And there's Gabe Ellison now crossing that finish line. That's the gap between 1st and 2nd. When you say 2.7 seconds, it doesn't sound like much, but then you see it illustrated on the racetrack, and it is massive. Raleigh Grant Davis spending 50.98 seconds down pit lane, a total of 14.3 seconds in the pit stall, and that there is the quickest stop of any of the 30-plus drivers to come down pit road. So RGD playing the strategy card with the shortest pit stop with over 45 laps remaining. He's going to have to come down pit road at least once more. What will this mean on the back end of this second green flag stint? Gabe Ellison rocking the second position. He's now within 2.5 seconds of RGD. That ends our first green flag pit stop cycle. We'll go back to our regularly scheduled graphics. Gabe Ellison, he's 2 seconds ahead of Tristan Bailey, who was leading when the cycle started. Bailey spending 14.7 seconds in his pit stall, only half a second more than RGD in the lead. But his pit lane time ends up being about another half second also. So Raleigh Grant Davis attacking pit lane and obviously gaining more than a second through that cycle. Just some genius strategy played there, but obviously we've got to see where it pays off. One of the big winners also, Nick Pressey in the number 9-4 Fan Fuel Podcast Ford. He was outside the top 9 when pit stop cycle started, and here he is in 6th, now passing points leader Aaron Smith, make that top 5. The Brooklyn pilot just edging the 70 car into turn number 3. Smith not letting it go that easily in the 70 car with a great run through the corners. More Than a Cape says, that's a good-looking car. There's a lot of good-looking cars all over this racetrack. Matt Boone in the number 38 Mac Tonight car, bringing back some Bill Elliott vibes. Jordan Bain, who just went purple for the race, fastest lap, 41.77 seconds. He's reversed his traditional BeWater colors, looking good in that black, white, and blue 2.8. Tim Moore with a little bit of throwback spirit. He's got his Ward Burton colors on in the number 7-4 Caterpillar car. Nate Mon, as we mentioned earlier, he's rocking the Piedmont Airlines colors made famous by Terry Labonte and Ricky Rudd. Look no further than Jose Ruiz for a little bit of 90s nostalgia. J. Paul Arnold, he's bringing back some Kevin Harvick vibes. You remember the Budweiser throwback Chevrolet that he ran? The Southern Beverage Company pilot, bringing a little love. Rocky Top Wade, classic Tennessee colors as always. Austin Reedy, he was in the top 3, but it looks like he's finally got some repairs. The 11 car's on the move in his classic throwback Busch colors. Stan Carnathan in the 8-2, he's running some special BeWater colors in his Chevrolet. At the front of this race, RGD's lead cut down to 2 seconds. He can now see Gabe Ellison in the distance, just as Tristan Bailey saw Grant Davis creeping up on him. The gap between first and second is the same between second and third. 1 second between Gabe Ellison and Tristan Bailey. Aaron Smith in the 7-0 behind Nick Pressey, who's worked his way into the top 5. Good for Nick Pressey. Timmy Moore chasing down Matt Boone. And it looks like after pit stops, these guys are full and they need to settle down. Single file order has fallen over the Auto Club Speedway for now, but that doesn't mean the racing's not tight. Aaron Smith now working the outside line, and behind these guys, it's getting a bit tight here. Almost the makings of a hornet's nest. You've got 5 cars closely nose to tail. The 50 of John Honeycutt in 12th, leading this pack. Nate Mon on the move once again, bringing his 20 car to the inside of JB Banner in the 09. The AFL Camaro sitting ahead of Jose Ruiz, Kyle Taub, and then Justin Malarkey in that lime and white number 7-3. Josh Arnold with a 1.8 second advantage over Tyler Dohar. Rocky Top Wade rounding out the top 20. Corey Colby in the number 2-1 Ricky Rudd colors, sitting just ahead of Jeff Lednum. This is the close battle for the 27th position. Nate Lehman and Q-Dog switching spots. Enrique Quinones in 31st, chasing down Lehman in that 14. Lehman to the outside of Terry Radford, looking to get the advantage on the Exalta driver, that gorgeous rainbow number 60. Holding on to his top 30 position right now, making it in through the heats. Radford on the outside, Lehman to his inside. This drag race down the back. Leading into turn number 3. Kyle Taub drafting behind the AFL Chevrolet, almost getting into Justin Malarkey, unaware of his surroundings. Taub's got to check those mirrors. That could have been terrible if not for the heads-up play by Malarkey. Let's see if we can have a look. Justin Malarkey just barely avoiding an accident. Oh, there we are, just a bit too late. Let's ride along with Justin Malarkey. I've got to see this. This is into 3, so keep your eye on that purple car. That's going to be Taub in the KT Designs Mustang up ahead. And watch the quick reactions from Malarkey in the 7-3. Look at that. Taub really trying to do everything he can to get behind Ruiz, forcing the issue. And if it wasn't for Justin Malarkey, that could have been a bad incident there. Taub sitting in the 15th spot. While RGD's lead now inside 1.5 seconds. Gabe Ellison starting to grow ever closer. Is Raleigh Grant Davis saving some of those resources in the boosted 2.5? Is Gabe Ellison pushing the issue just a bit further now? Inside 1.2 seconds as we approach halfway. Raleigh Grant Davis leading Gabe Ellison, Tristan Bailey in that 3rd spot. Riding along with Tim Latham all by his lonesome. To the front, Aaron Smith making way for Jordan Bain, now cracking the top 5 for the first time today under normal green flag conditions. The BeWater Mustang makes it around the points leader. Jordan Bain well outside that top 14, but still putting on a good show despite the part-time schedule. Aaron Smith leading by just 8 points. 3 races are all that remain in this season, this short 8-race season. I know that says all-star race. That's totally wrong. That's my fault. This is round 6, not the all-star race. I did borrow this graphic, but that's besides the point. 180 miles, the scheduled distance. Drivers last time around going about 30 laps on one set of tires. Some made it 29, so not really going 30 to 40, but we can expect drivers to conserve a bit more in this second stint. Hopefully, we'll see a bit more strategy played, because this second pit stop could be the very last. If it's a 90-lap race and these drivers are only able to go about 30 laps on one stint of fuel and tires, that tells you that strategy, and whoever can save their stuff for the end is going to have a really good shot at winning this race. Inside 1.2 seconds, Gabe Ellison starting to close that gap, but Tristan Bailey getting closer to that 2.7. Further on back, Corey Blevins behind that 3.8 of Matthew Boone. Let's ride along with Blevins in his Blevins design Camaro. The draft plays such a huge factor in how these cars handle and how they can pass each other with ease. Josh Arnold in that 2-2 drafting and almost urging himself to push that 2-3 further down the front straight, and you better believe that bump drafting might take place inside these last 15 laps. The 2-3 of Jose Ruiz on the outside of Nate Mon in the Piedmont Airlines Chevy. Justin Malarkey in that 7-3. His quick hands allowed him to survive and fight for another lap. Malarkey in the 7-3 sitting in lucky number 13th place. Look at that. He's from Scranton. I wonder if he likes The Office. Kyle Taub, another one of the drivers in this pack, he hates The Office. Actually, I have no idea. I totally made that up. But Kyle Taub is in 16th right now to the inside of that 2-0. Taub is trying to make his way into the top 15. Struggling a little bit with that 20, but it's giving good racing in the KT Designs Ford. Timmy Moore, he started in the 35th position. He started stone dead last, just like he did the week before. Here he is inside the top 10. Moore getting around Nick Pressey, and he's within 1.2 seconds to Corey Blevins. At the front, it's a bit tighter. Tristan Bailey gets around Gabe Ellison, and that 88 gets closer to the 2.5 boosted Chevy of Raleigh Grant Davis. Jordan Bain in the 2.8 wants to join this top three as well. He's 1.2 seconds behind Gabe Ellison. Tim Latham rounding out that top 5. He's gotten around points leader Aaron Smith, but Smith hanging on to the coattails of Latham despite starting on the pole and falling just a little behind. Latham still well within this hunt. And looking at those points, Tim Latham is sitting in 6th right now, just one marker behind points leader RGD, and if Raleigh Grant Davis can hold on to this lead, which he isn't at the moment thanks to Tristan Bailey, RGD is going to get a huge load of points to fling him towards the top. Tristan Bailey on that inside line. Bailey, now your new leader inside the final 40 laps of racing. 39 to go exactly, and is Raleigh Grant Davis just saving his stuff? He opened an insane lead after that pit stop cycle. Tristan Bailey, however, pitting 3 laps after Raleigh Grant Davis. So is this the effect that we see from these fresh tires? This is the difference 3 laps can make, and RGD now drafting behind Tristan Bailey. With a 41.77, RGD has joint fastest lap with Jordan Bain, and I also believe the 2-3 of Jose Ruiz, no, 41.87 for Ruiz, but still close. More Than a Cape saying new leader Tristan Bailey. Tristan Bailey leading this race, obviously, by 0.4 of a second. RGD closely following behind. Aaron Smith also playing the drafting game, as are many of these drivers settling through, but not Nick Pressey, always on the attack. Pressey on the outside of car 2-1. Drew Jua in the United Rentals Chevrolet scored as the 41. Makes his way down the backstretch. Jua sits on the back end of the top 10. We've yet to mention driver of the number 1 Axalta Chevrolet, Blake Sperling, behind Jeff Noe. In this race here, Sperling sitting 10th in the point standings right now. He's got some work to do riding along in the 23rd position, but he only finds himself 6 points behind John Honeycutt, who's in 11th, and Tristan Bailey, who's only 5 points behind Blake Sperling, is currently leading the race. Sperling's got some work to do, but there's plenty of time to get that done. Tristan Bailey leading by 0.6 of a second over RGD Raleigh Grant Davis. And these drivers about 5 to 6 laps away from the start of our second green flag pit stop cycles. Battle for third between Gabe Ellison and Jordan Bain. The 2.8 of Bain finally gets to the inside, and now that BeWater Ford makes it into the top three. Let's ride along with Jordan Bain. He's going to take us for a lap around Auto Club. Jake of NASCAR 88 in the chat says, "What's up? Welcome, Jake, to the chat." You're watching Jordan Bain, now within 1 second to RGD in the second position. 1 second the gap between first and the second place. Don't get confused. Aaron Smith on the outside of the 3.8. Matt Boone scored as car 13. Boone now drafting behind the 0 of Tim Latham. And the Wisconsin pilot has been making his way up through this field. Matt Boone says he wants a taste of this top 5. Boone coming to play in the Mac Tonight car. He's hungry. John Honeycutt gets to the inside of Drew Jua. And the number 50 High Tech Security Services Chevrolet works his way into the top 10. Honey is up 11 places from where he started. High Tech Security Services based out of West Palm Beach, Florida. The Orlando native repping his company. Jua now to the inside. He's not letting this fight for 10th go unnoticed. The United Rentals Chevy using the draft, now getting to the inside of Honeycutt. He's going to edge Honey for that 10th spot. Corey Blevins sitting half a second ahead in the 48 car. He sees the 2-1 coming. He's slowly chasing down Timmy Moore. Moore within 1 second to Matt Boone, who's watching Aaron Smith hunt down Timmy Latham. Getting a bit tighter now. Everybody waiting for their second pit stop to call. Tristan Bailey to the inside of car 6-6. That's Grandpa Coey, who goes a lap down. J. Paul Arnold ahead of Nick Pressey. Here comes Kyle Taub on the back end of the top 16. Jeff No enters pit lane and he's on his way out. That's going to start our second round of pit stops. If you've joined us or you don't know the rules for the first one, your driver's last name will show up on the bottom of the screen with the abbreviation being 3 letters in their last name. The ticking time on the left, pit lane time, the blinking time in the brackets, pit stop time. Raleigh Grant Davis just ahead of Jordan Bain, who's looking to the inside. The 2.8 BeWater Ford puts his Mustang into second position now. 31 laps remain. Jacob NASCAR tuning in before he does his 60-lap official trucks at Auto Club. Let us know how it goes, Jake. Best of luck to you, buddy. Keep it in one piece, as I tell everybody. If you've just tuned in, great timing. The second round of pit stops have just started. The 3.7 of Jeff Lednum brings his Ford Shelby Mustang down pit road. And it's on now. Who's going to go the distance on pit stops? The 8.2 of Stan Carnathan also brings his machine down pit road. There's Lednum. Carnathan also on his way in. That looks like Matt Boone, who's also on his way down pit road. And now the floodgates have opened. Everybody decides to come down to get services. John Honeycutt in the 10th position. Now drafting behind the 7.3 of Justin Malarkey. He's got the 2.3 of Jose Ruiz ahead, and these drivers are going to start to make up time. And they're stretching this fuel out long enough to go this distance. It will be close no matter what, but these drivers able to go about 30 to 40 laps on one stop. Ignore the All-Star race part once again, that's my mistake. The 2-1 slowing down, and it looks like he's going to be on his way down pit road, and he is. Kyle Taub also on his way down pit road. Repeat 1975 in the chat. Welcome, my brother, my godfather, the man who shows me everything and helps me out. Repeat 1975. Glad to have him around as the second round of pit stops begin. John Honeycutt in the 5-0 to the inside of Corey Blevins in that 4-8. Honeycutt working his way into 7th. Pit stops, full swing. Ruiz in the 5th position. Two of the top 3 are in. RGD is in. Jordan Bain is in, coming down to a screeching halt. You saw him skidding those front tires. The 38 of Matt Boone is now in. Justin Malarkey, Corey Blevins, Nick Pressey, everybody coming down for those 4 Eagle Field Goods. Jose Ruiz and John Honeycutt staying out. Tristan Bailey with a 10-second lead, extending his cycle out to lap 63. And the quick math tells us these drivers will be good to the finish by just about 4 to 5 laps. Caution is out. Caution is out on the racetrack. Has it been an accident in pit road? Someone's gone around, obviously. Let's try and find out who. But the yellow flag comes out inside the final 30 laps. Fuel strategy just went way out the window. And a lot of the top 11 drivers have not pitted. I was going to say the only drivers not to pit seem to be all of the top 11, and that is in fact the top 11. Terry Radford sitting in 10th. Hasn't pitted. Q-Dog, Enrique Quinones in the 9 car, hasn't come down pit road. Tristan Bailey leading this race with Jose Ruiz in the 2nd position. John Honeycutt in 3rd. And that's going to end our green flag pit stop cycle, obviously. We're under yellow just outside the final 25 laps of racing. That's going to give us a chance to take our first break. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more racing and the final 25 laps of round 6 of BeWater from Auto Club. Lights are out atop the pace car. Cars are getting their wave arounds. We're going to go racing next time by. It'll be 24 laps to go when we get the green. This is round 6 of the BeWater Be Fast iRacing series. Take charge of your health. Now is the time to relax your mind, body, and spirit with BeWater, the clean, fresh tasting American artesian water bottled in Marion, North Carolina, ethically sourced from springs in the Blue Ridge Mountains. BeWater's committed to providing the world with high quality, healthy, and enhanced beverage choices with the goal of supporting a healthy lifestyle. Learn more at BeWaterBU.com or on Twitter at BeWaterBU. So the restart's been waved off. Jordan Bain making another celebrity appearance leading this race. Cars getting a chance to do their wave arounds. RGD on the outside of row number 1. Let's see if we can bother the race leader real quick, see how his race has been going for him. Jordan Bain, Rick James in the booth, you got me.
Hey, what's up, Rick?
You're leading this race right now. We're going to have 23 laps to go when we get the green. You took the green flag on the outside of row number 1. Now you're on the inside of row number 1. RGD to your outside. Can you bring the BeWater Ford home to victory lane?
I feel a lot better if it was like a 30-lap run, like a 23-lap run. So, I don't know. I'm going to probably drive it a lot to here.
Fuel strategy.
But we'll see.
Sorry, I thought I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good.
Fuel strategy just went out the window. Who's going to be your toughest challenge on the way to the win?
I mean, all these guys here. Tristan, for sure. We were catching him there, but, you know, I think him and Grant, they're both faster than me on the short run. So, I don't know. Everyone up here in the top 5 or 10 probably has a shot, but that caution kind of screwed a bunch of guys, so it kind of sucks. But, yeah, we'll do what we can, Rick. We'll see.
Keep the shiny side up, buddy. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Jordan Bain leading this race with RGD to his outside, coming to that green flag. 23 laps to go on the clock. Fuel strategy has gone out the window, and now it's going to be best driver to the line. Bain gets the green flag. We're racing once again from Auto Club. Big wreck at a turn number 3 and 4. Timmy Moore avoids all of it. 3, 4 cars, 5 cars involved. It looks like Stan Carnathan avoided all of this. Byron Jones involved in the stay. Hemp Sports Drink Chevrolet. J. Paul Arnold, Josh Arnold got a piece of that accident in the 2-2. Nick Pressey in the 94. You can see his rear wing has been damaged. Let's go back and find out what happened. Big crash. First lap after that restart here. Jose Ruiz in the 2-3. He's well ahead of all of this, and it looks like someone just got loose. Nick Pressey in that third corner couldn't control his race car. The 8 car went around. And let's have another look from that 9-4. Pressey almost making it through undamaged. Have a look at Byron Jones in the 8. Just on the outside, nowhere for him to go, collected by the 2-2. I want to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, repeat 1975 into the booth. Pete, I don't know if you caught anything that happened there, but it looks like the catalyst may have been Brooklyn's Nick Pressey. Just lost control in that third corner. Oh no, look, contact from the 2-4 of Cole Snyder. This is well into turn 3, Pete.
Yeah, man, I'm glad that I was able to make it on home for about the last 30 or so laps. just going back myself to try to figure out exactly what happened. Yeah, Nick Pressey a little sideways. You definitely saw the 24 able to sneak on the low side. But, yeah, that looked like it was a pretty wicked corner for a few people. The 8 and the 22 looked like they got the brunt of it.
Take one more look here on the 68th lap. Cole Snyder making some not so nice contact with Nick Pressey. It looks like he's going to side draft alongside the 94. And so far, no contact between them. 24 looking to side draft, and it looks like he just got a bit too close on the 94. That starts that huge chain reaction. Pressey just couldn't hold on to control of that car. One more look from the cockpit of Cole Snyder. Watch the draft into 3. This is just off the restart here, Pete. Snyder with a great launch. Pressey always to his outside.
Yeah, definitely. There's all kinds of camera angles that will tell pretty much the same story, but there was a whole lot of looseness there off the corner. There you see the 74, I believe that is the 94 and the 24, and yep, that just a little bit of contact to the left rear of the 94, and he wasn't able to recover throughout the second half of that turn.
Nick Pressey in the 94 car coming down pit road to get his race car repaired. The Brooklyn native looking to salvage a good finishing position. Jordan Bain still leading this race with RGD to his outside. Lights are out atop the pace car. RGD. Raleigh Grant Davis starting in the 5th position. He's had a great pit strategy, Pete, but now that's gone out the window with these 2 cautions.
Tell you what, yeah, Raleigh Grant Davis leading, or will be, restarting P2. Sorry, just trying to get everything about me again. Yeah, Jordan Bain is going to be the control car, RGD to P2. Tristan Bailey, forever strong in anything that he drives, starting P3. Jose Ruiz, a model of consistency. Tyler Dohar up 19 spots, now sitting P5. John Honeycutt, Blake Sperling, Corey Colby, Austin Reedy, and Nate Lehman going to be your top 10. And oh, by the way, Terry Radford in P11 up 25 spots.
An incredible jump. You heard Jordan Bain say a lot of the front runners really got messed up by that caution, and now it's the chance for the back markers to shine inside the final 20 laps. 1-9 at the line. Jordan Bain, Raleigh Grant Davis will be the top 2 cars. It'll be 2x2, 16 rows deep. Get ready for this. 19 laps to go. Pace car peels off. It's anybody's race from Auto Club. Drivers waiting for the signal with a twitchy right foot. Green flag is out. Let's go racing. RGD leading the first lap from restart. 18 laps to go, Pete. 2-5, 8-8, 2-8 your top 3, but RGD the only one with peace. Everybody side by side with somebody else.
Rick, I actually ran a practice race with these guys last night, trying to set up the rest of my tools on this new PC that I just got. And the person that was able to manage their tires the best was able to track everybody back down as the race went on, and be able to profit from their patience. Raleigh Grant Davis, he started on the outside. Now the guy that's in P2, he started P3. Jordan Bain now back to P3. But we're going to have to watch that 88 of Tristan Bailey and see exactly what he's capable of. Tyler Dohar now up to P4. Jose Ruiz back to P5.
Ruiz in front of Honeycutt. Then you've got that 3-8 that just went 3 wide into the corner. Nate Lehman just ahead of all of this takes a big blink. Gabe Ellison in the 2-7. Now behind that 2-1. Lehman in that 1-4 just with a hard vanishing act on that outside line, and everybody clenching, waiting for the 1-4 to reappear. Matt Boone in the 3-8 Mac Tonight Chevy looking to go to the inside line in the 1-4 with just a chronic blinking problem. Behind all of this, Corey Blevins in the 4-8, John Osborne in the 8-3 Kool-Aid Machine. Pete, as you say it, buddy, it is a hornet's nest.
Absolutely, behind the leaders that are pretty content right now, just trying to run the lowest line as possible. It seems here at Auto Club, if you run up higher, you would think that maybe you'd be able to save a little bit because you kind of get back on the gas and you have the widest arc of the widest turn. And it's not that way. The higher you go, the more tire you wear here, and while everybody else on that bottom line really trying to hug the white saves the most amount. It throws you off when you consider this track and Michigan. Right now, yeah, hell of a top 5.
RGD leading Tristan Bailey by 1/4 of a second on the high side. Tyler Dohar driving the Filter Time Chevrolet on the outside of Jordan Bain. Jose Ruiz sitting in that 5th position looking to bring the DuPont Camaro to a victory. With John Honeycutt in the 5-0, he's up 5 places from where he started. Good for him. Behind Honeycutt, Terry Radford up 27 places from where he started. He's our hardest charger of the night so far, and he's got a good 10 spots on anybody else behind him. That 6-0 Exalta Chevrolet doing a fantastic job of really just defying the odds, Pete.
Yeah, Terry Radford, he's more known for his streaming content, a hell of a streamer. And not really so much for his action on track, but having a fantastic night. It was just at the last restart I mentioned that he was sitting in P number 11. Here he is now sitting in P number 7, so up a few more spots, applying a little bit of pressure to John Honeycutt with Jose Ruiz right in front of him.
Lucky number 13 laps to go, and new leader Tristan Bailey in the 8-8. He gets to the inside of RGD in the 2-5, Pete. Bailey leading this race. He has a great short run car. His tires, 2 laps fresher than that of Raleigh Grant Davis, but does it become a drafting act now?
I'll tell you what, the 25 of RGD just pulled all over the back end of that 88, Rick. He is straight up his trumpet going down the backstretch into turn 3. This 88 is going to have to get to be real wide. I can imagine that More Than a Cape is out there rooting on his boy. Continuing to lead with the 25 right behind him. Then Tyler Dohar, Jordan Bain, Jose Ruiz as they get on by the 22, the double deuce of Josh Arnold. Excuse me, old J-Pie in that wild Pennzoil double deuce. It looked like it had no front end, not quite the modified, Rick, but very unfortunate for Josh Arnold. J-Pie one more time. And looks like the 88 might be starting to stretch things out just a tad.
10 laps to go next time by. They're starting to bunch up around that 2-2. Everybody funneling into turn number 1 on that inside line. My mistake, I didn't even realize I was muted for the last lap and a half. At the front, Tristan Bailey extending his gap by 0.3 of a second. Raleigh Grant Davis sitting in second. Tyler Dohar's in third, and Jordan Bain sits in the 4th position. Jose Ruiz sitting in 5th with Gabe Ellison filling the accordion behind him. Honeycutt, Radford, Lehman, and more rounding out the top 10, Pete. 1-0 to go.
Absolutely. Then you got a guy that I'm glad to see back on the iRacing side, Blake Sperling, with Timothy Latham, Drew Jua, Corey Blevins, and Matt Boone rocking that number 38 one more time, sitting in P number 15.
If you've recently joined us, you've got impeccable timing. It's 9 at the line. Next time by, Blake Sperling in the 1 Exalta Chevrolet, drafting behind the 7-4 Caterpillar Supra. And 3 wide behind them, it's Rocky Top Sam Wade in the number 14 Tennessee Volunteers Mustang. He's really sending it now into turn 3, right up along that inside line, cutting off a lot of entry speed, Pete, but he's gaining a ton of ground at the expense of exit speed. This is where the draft is going to have to help Wade get further along.
Yeah, they decided not to keep that 3 wide as they were through 1 and 2. 14 down low, 83 and the 20, nose to tail up high. 3 different lines, 4 different lines coming through the corner here at Auto Club. Whole lot of grip, but right about now is where they're screaming for tires, depending on how long they've been pushing them.
Hold on. 8 to go, and if you didn't get tires then, you're not going to get them now. Tristan Bailey extending his lead to 3.5 tenths, but not really getting outside the grasp of Raleigh Grant Davis. Jordan Bain running his part-time schedule in 3rd right now. He's got Tyler Dohart drafting off of him. Jose Ruiz on the high side will avoid the 3 wide maneuver into 1, but he's still flying quick in that Rainbow Warrior paint scheme. Honeycutt in 7th, Radford in 8th. Pete, it's so tight all over this racetrack, I don't know where to look.
Yeah, the 27 of Gabe Ellison, though, he's going to have the preferred line. He's got Dohart who is inside. He's got the 50 of Honeycutt filling up his rear view. Right now, the 28 of Bain, though, he's trying to get a little bit of separation. He's not going to be able to break the draft, and he doesn't quite have the draft from the 25. He's sitting right about that no man's land point. He's hoping that the 23 will be able to get up and push him a little, but at the same time doesn't want to have to fight off the 23 for that spot. Sitting at P3.
Looking like a plate race with 6 laps to go. Corey Blevins in the 48 moves to the inside of car 2-1, just skating up the racetrack, barely avoiding contact between all of these pilots. Out of turn number 2, it's getting antsy, it's getting anxious. Will we survive to the end without a yellow flag? It's 6 to go this time around.
Well, I'll tell you what, the guys from mid-pack on, they are fighting for every single spot. We're still seeing some go 2, 3, and almost 4 wide, a little bit further back. Right now, though, Tristan Bailey, he's just trying to, I would imagine he's trying to manage the gap that he's got by the 25. If he can save a little bit of tire, you mentioned a little bit ago that he's got a great short run car. Will that short run come back to bite him as they took the green with 19 to go? We'll have to see as they come to 5 to go next time by.
Just a half second remains between Tristan Bailey and Raleigh Grant Davis. Jordan Bain is a half second behind RGD. Bain has the draft now, but he's only got 10 more miles to make it happen. You may have noticed Terry Radford scraping the wall just like Reedy did at the beginning of the show. Radford falling outside the top 10 and cars starting to accordion behind him, Pete. It's getting tense with fewer than 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, you really want to try to keep off the walls. Even if you make just the slightest contact, that damage on the right front or on the right rear, it will absolutely slow you down. And if you push the car too hard, it will just wash up the track to where you've got to completely get out of the gas and turn it a little bit harder to the left, which scrubs tires, which it completely ruins your entire lap. Oh, Rick James, this 28's getting close.
Jordan Bain now within 2 tenths of Raleigh Grant Davis, and it's 4 laps to go. 8 miles left at Auto Club. Tristan Bailey extending this gap by 6 tenths. It may be Bailey's race to lose, but the fight for second is getting closer still. Jose Ruiz on the high side has Ellison in his shadow. John Honeycutt now battling for 5th.
Yeah, John Honeycutt guy, he's got a little bit of a gap back to the 77 of Dohar, but Timothy Latham in that Raise Energy single zero Chevy Camaro, he's actually made he's lost 7 spots since the beginning, but looks like he's been pretty consistent in the top 10 all night long. Could still be a pretty good points night for this Camaro.
Tim Latham coming into this race 6th in points. He's only 1 spot, 1 marker behind RGD Raleigh Grant Davis. He's tied with Gabe Ellison with 186 points. Latham, He's only 6 points ahead of Tyler Dohar, who's 2 places ahead of him on the track, and there's fewer than 4 laps remaining, Pete. It'll be 2 laps to go at the line. This points table is going to be shaken up, and Tristan Bailey is looking to get maximum advantage. Meanwhile, Jordan Bain clears RGD, and Bain is within 7/10 to Tristan Bailey. Jordan Bain pitting 2 laps after the double 8, closing him down by the very second, Pete. 4 miles remain.
4 miles, and all he can think about is those 4/10 that he is behind that 88. 88's been very, very strong in the short run. Those tires are done. They are equaled out. Bain has always been great on saving his stuff, and it just goes to show he can do it with 19 to go. Tristan Bailey watching that gap, now back to an even half second.
Tristan Bailey slower by 1/100th that time around. With the white flag coming out, it looks like it's too little, too late for Jordan Bain, but Bain gets an excellent run out of turn number 4, and it's going to be down to the draft now. Tristan Bailey snaking down the front straight, Jordan Bain following in his wake. Fewer than 2 miles to go, Pete.
2 miles to go. All the 88's got to do is make sure that he hits his mark. I don't think the 28 can make up I don't think he can make up the amount of time needed in order to catch him. I think this is going to be Tristan's race to win. 88, I'm sorry, the 28 is going to be right there. RGD in the 25. I don't think Jose Ruiz can take that from him. Rick, these points have been phenomenal all week long. I'm sorry, all season long. And everybody just saw how close they are. Here they are, coming off 4.
Tristan Bailey starting in the 4th position in the double 8, coming off that 4th corner. It is going to be enough for the 88 car. He's got the win at Club Speedway. Jordan Bain coming home in 2nd. RGD with the bronze medal in the 2.5 boosted Chevrolet. Jose Ruiz in 4th. Gabe Ellison in 5th. Tim Latham coming home in the 6th position. John Honeycutt, Blake Sperling up 14 positions from where they started in 7th and 8th. Timmy Moore up 26 places from where he started. He comes home in 9th. Nate Lehman rounds out the top 10. It's the double 8. Tristan Bailey, he's got the victory in round 6. And with 3 races to go, Pete, the points battle just got a lot more open.
It is extremely tight, and it has been for the last, 5-6 races now. I think we've only got 2 more to go after tonight. I think, Rockingham and then Homestead, I think. And those 2 races are going to be phenomenal. It's going to be full of fireworks.
Tristan Bailey coming down to celebrate. It's a victory for TJ's team. More than a cape, thrilled. And the 88's going to burn the house down. Fantastic drive. Jeff Lednam coming to congratulate that 88 car, and that's going to do it for the race. Fans, don't go anywhere. We're going to have podium interviews in just a moment. On the podium now with our top three, the number 25 boosted Chevrolet driven by RGD Raleigh Grant Davis. You started on in the 5th position. You came home 3rd. It's a good points day for you, RGD.
Yeah, that's the first night someone else's misfortune went my way. So although I didn't win, it kind of felt like a win. Um, yeah, I don't know. Like that's probably the happiest I've ever been to finish 3rd ever. Because I was kind of irritated when the 88 got by me because I was like, dang, I burned up my right front already. Because I was so desperate to get to the lead, and I was like, oh, they're gonna wreck again. I need the clean air. And then I was like, I should have held off a minute instead of pushing so hard. But whew, all right. I've worked up a sweat after that. That was fun.
Absolutely, Boehner. It is Pete. You got a copy, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, Pete?
All right, Boehner. Well, I was able to pop in with about 19 to go. Saw the restart. You were the control car, and we saw a couple guys get by you. But as always, able to control your stuff, able to keep just a little extra tire for that late charge. Talk us through those laps. What did you need to catch up with that 88?
I don't know. I don't really practice, 20 lap runs or 25 lap runs. So, I mean, we were definitely. I was more happy with how we did. We put ourselves in like a 3.5 second hole. Driving too easy in that first green flag segment. I was really happy with the progress we made catching Tristan before that caution came out. So I was looking forward to racing it, just kind of straight up without the caution. I kind of knew, even with the lead there, I really shouldn't have been in the lead. So I wasn't going to race those guys very hard at the start. Figured they had the track position over me. So I just tried to come from 3rd and got to battling with Dohar there. That was a fun little fight, but probably used up my stuff a little too much trying to pass him to be able to go catch Tristan. But thanks to BeWater, thanks to you guys. All in all, good race. Congrats to Tristan. He drove a great race.
Congratulations on a P2. Rick James, you got gold.
Tristan Bailey, winner of that number 88 TJ's Team Chevrolet. Before we get to our race winner, this wonderful race brought to you by the good folks over at BeWater, the clean, fresh tasting American artesian water bottled in Marion, North Carolina, ethically sourced from the springs in those beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. BeWater's committed to providing the world with high quality, healthy, and enhanced beverage choices with the goal of supporting your healthy lifestyle. So take charge of your health. Now's the time to relax your mind, body, and spirit with BeWater. BeWater, be you. And for someone who was being pretty fast today, Tristan Bailey, you cleaned up in that second stint. Great win.
Thank you.
You drove a fantastic race in that 88 car. Moving on next week, looking towards Rockingham. The points battle is still blown wide open. Is there a chance for you to get this title with 3 races to go?
I kind of hope so. I mean, not too sure about old Rockingham with the next gen. I feel like this could be really loose probably with those cars because the way they got them on iRacing. But we'll just have to see. It's just anybody's game pretty much still.
Anybody's game. Sounds like it's going to be a fun 3 weeks. We'll see you in 7 days' time. Great win for you. Great win for TJ's team. Go on and celebrate, TB.
Thank you.
Fantastic job by everybody tonight. My esteemed thanks to the good folks over at Green Concepts and BeWater, and of course, Pete Ruzick coming in. It's my pleasure to fill in this big seat that he brings every single week. Pete, great last 20 laps, buddy. Next week, the next gen cars at The Rock.
Absolutely. Next gen, I think they've got 5 sets of tires next week, Rick, and I anticipate they will use every single set. They will come into play.
If you can't wait until then, Thursday night, we're bringing the ARCA cars to Thursday Night Thunder once again. Those beautiful Gen 4 machines are coming to the high banks of the Bristol Motor Speedway, so tune in Thursday night for that. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will